Welcome to episode 264 of the Reptile Gumbo podcast. It's the two of us right now. Robert,
Whoop.
maybe here later. He was in traffic last I heard.
I was in traffic today driving back from Magnolia. It was not fun driving through downtown Houston.
It's never.
I don't go all the way through Houston very often, and I got a lot of listening.
Why'd you go into Houston?
Well, because there was a really bad wreck on the route that it was going to take me.
So you didn't take interstate up?
It took me, no, this was coming home. It rerouted me like 4 times coming home because there was such a bad accident. And so I was just following the GPS because the one time we didn't follow her, we were stuck in traffic for like 6 hours that night.
That's true.
So when she tells me there's traffic and take a different direction, I just say yes now.
Say hi to Timothy and Darren in the chat.
Yay.
You want to knock out sponsor stuff?
Sure.
Okay. Go for it.
All right. So if you are looking for a commercial feeder breeder facility, look no further than Lil's Shop of Horrors. They are based out of San Antonio, Texas, and specialize in rats, mice, dubia roaches, Madagascar hissing cockroaches, and more. As feeder breeders, they focus on the nutritional needs of the animals that consume them. They have nationwide shipping available for live insects, and for frozen rodent shipments, feel free to reach out to check availability in your area. They do weekly meetups throughout South Central Texas and are aiming to expand their meetup locations. So follow them online to keep up to date on their meetup schedule. If you're looking to place an order, feel free to contact them through any of their social media pages at Lil's Shop of Horrors or email them via their inquiries page at lilsshopofhorrors.com. I feel like I have to put a lot of emphasis on the S.
Lil's.
Because it's Lil's, Lils, Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
Otherwise, they'll just put Lil, Shop of Horrors, but there's 2 S's there.
Timothy said this will get him through the rest of spot cleaning. Well, enjoy.
Nice. I mean, be productive.
I guess enjoy cleaning shit while thinking about us.
James has been he's hired someone to help
last week,
him. Yeah.
My daughter does all the watering now.
We're 2 weeks in and she hasn't quit on him yet.
Okay, $20 a week and she waters all my snakes.
Yeah. She even went out of town and still got it done.
Saves me time.
That was cool.
Let's do Herb's Reptile shows. Coming up, Herb's Reptile shows. We have Corpus Christi, Texas, August 9th and 10th. Taylor, Texas, August 16th and 17th. Over to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, August 23rd and 24th. Bryan College Station, August 30th and 31st. Then Conroe, which I'm sure will be at Conroe, September 13th and 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Stillwater, Oklahoma, September 20th, September 21st. Abilene, Texas, September 27th, 28th. And then Belton, Texas, October 4th and October 5th.
Yes. We won't be in Conroe until Saturday, though, because we have a football game Friday night.
Yeah. But we go Saturday anyways.
Yeah. I won't be there Sunday.
What?
But I'll be there Saturday.
Loser.
I have a quilt meeting.
Old people stuff.
I can't help it.
And then also, if you need an LED UVB light bulb, check out VivTech products for all of your LED needs. Get rid of those little curly Q bulbs that go out in 6 months and get you an LED bulb from VivTech. All of our animals are on them and they're all doing great.
Mm-hmm.
So get you a bulb. So use code GUMBO22 to save 15%. Go check out VivTech products. Am I good? Did I forget anybody?
I haven't been on their website in a while. I need to go check it out.
I haven't talked to them in a while. We need to have
They've
them
been
on.
very busy. Very busy. I've been stalking them on Facebook. And now I have an Instagram. But I haven't actually opened it since I
don't know why you act like having Instagram is so much work.
I don't like all the social medias.
You have Facebook. That's all.
Too much.
What do you mean?
But I also have like everything to keep up with, like my classroom and then I have Girl Scouts, which is a different app.
That doesn't count as social media. That's work stuff.
But it's not just work.
School's work stuff.
Yeah, but like the Girl Scout stuff is not.
That's work stuff too. I mean, Instagram same as Facebook. You post on Instagram, it'll post straight to your Facebook.
It did connect it. I thought that was cool.
And so all you do is post on one thing. What are you working on?
Nothing.
Put it. We are doing a podcast,
and I'm focusing.
Anyways, anything else going on lately?
Well, we did not accomplish the one task that I wanted to accomplish this week.
I don't know what that was.
I wanted to move critters back into my classroom.
That's true. We gotta move all your.
So we're doing that this weekend. Woo!
Yay!
I'll take you to see Weird Al Friday night.
You take me to see I'm driving.
And then I bought the ticket.
So we're going to see Weird Al Friday. I'm super excited because we went to see Weird Al like 2 years ago.
Correct.
Or a year ago.
Correct.
And
I don't remember when it was.
I didn't realize that tour was not all the big hits.
I think I knew like 4 songs.
I mean, I knew all of them, but it was all like B-side Weird Al stuff, which is still fine.
It was great.
Still love Weird Al.
I had a great
and it was like in
time.
a small venue, and it was intimate. It was
very
good.
small.
And that was cool. But this one we're taking our daughter to, and this is him doing all of his big hits.
It is an outdoor venue.
It is an outdoor venue.
It's August 1st.
It'll be August in
Texas.
It will be hot.
But we got seats, so we're not on the lawn.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
And there are kinds of fans. I don't know. It's fine.
Yes, he's still alive.
Darren, he's not
Darren?
that old. I mean, he is old, but he's not like old. He's, I don't know, he's what, 60 something?
I have no idea how old he is.
But
he is still doing a phenomenal show. And I'll be honest, I don't know who is more excited. I don't know if you are more excited or our 14-year-old is more excited, because that's all she's been listening to on Spotify for like the week.
He's only 65.
Oh, that's not bad.
No. We're going to go see him. I'm excited but I'm probably going to get goosebumps as soon as I hear Amish Paradise.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a good one.
Super excited about hearing that.
We're hoping that the set list that we've seen.
I've seen the set list. There's some stuff on there which I would be okay if he didn't play.
But he could change. I mean, he could change set list.
I don't think so, because the way I saw, because I've seen some recordings that people have done of his show, and there's like a screen in the background that plays the music videos. So I think he kind of has it timed out to certain music, and he's probably gonna play those music videos. But he's playing Amish Paradise. So
there you go.
I didn't get to hear that last time I saw him.
I know. I'm excited.
He's playing Fat.
Good. I didn't think I was gonna get to go.
Put your phone away.
But I
put your phone away,
James. I'm gonna need you to get it together.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm super excited because this guest didn't reject me like the last one I emailed.
Well, the last one rejected you, but they had posted something like years ago.
I didn't realize that it was like a 7-year-old post when I found it, and she still could have come on to talk about it. It was cool.
It was quilting. I don't know how cool it was going to be.
Boy, don't even.
I mean, I'm stretching it here for reading because everyone knows
bring our guests.
I have a giant collection of books and I don't read any of them. So
no, they all know I'm the reader. It's totally fine.
All right, you ready?
I'm only fangirling slightly. It's great.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. So we have Lynne Kelly, who is a children's author. What children? Yeah, children's author. I feel like when I say children's author, people think like 5-year-olds, and that's not necessarily
those are children.
Yeah. So the age group is called middle grade, which means like 10 to 12-ish.
Mm-hmm.
My character is usually 12 years old.
Yeah. So I heard about Lynne through our friend Jessica Lee Anderson, who we've had on multiple times. And everybody knows the book lady. If they go to the Herp shows, they see her at the Herp shows. And so we love that. But I was talking to her about some books that I could read with my students, some more books, because they were just devouring hers that she'd given me in my classroom for 4th grade. And she suggested some.
But you don't teach reading anymore.
I don't, but that's okay. Because all of my animal books are still staying on my shelves. So I've packed away all the other things, but all the nonfiction and all the animal fiction books are still on the shelf. So I still have books in my classroom. So she recommended The Secret Language of Birds, which is about whooping cranes, which I love whooping cranes.
In Texas.
Yes. So and it's based in Texas.
There used to be a woman who worked for Louisiana Wildlife Fisheries that would do all the whooping crane stuff, and she always pronounced it whooping cranes.
Oh my goodness.
Whooping. And like it got very weird. I was like, none of us are saying it. It's just you saying whooping cranes.
There was lots of emphasis on the
a lot of H there.
Remember her name? Because I correspond with the staff there to make sure I got the crane.
I don't.
Correct.
That was been years ago.
I was going to say that was at least 14 years ago.
Oh, okay. So maybe not.
So yeah,
they were great because the population I wrote about, like a lot of you probably know, there's a big flock that flies from northern Canada to the southern coast of Texas for the winter time. Little more than that. They call it the 2 scary dates. They arrive on Halloween and they leave on tax day, as they say how to remember it. But winter. So they hang out on the Texas coast. But the population I wrote about is the one that is supposed to be in Louisiana year round. But, they don't recognize the boundary there.
They don't know borders.
State lines. It's fine.
So a couple of them have wandered or flown over into Texas and have found some farmland that seems like a nice place to build a nest. So that marked the first time in over 100 years that Texas had a whooping crane nest. So of course, we have, 500-ish that winter on the Texas coast, but this is not the time of year to build a nest and lay eggs. I mean, wintertime isn't, even though our climate, of course, is more hospitable than northern Canada, but even so, wintertime is not the time to lay an egg. If we have a cold snap, it's not going to be okay. So, but this small population, relatively small, like 80 of them, live in Louisiana year round. And so because they came over to Texas and stayed, built a nest, it was springtime, and they laid an egg. And then I think another couple did that a year later. So that was the first time Texas has had a whooping crane egg in over 100 years.
These are the reintroduced ones right there in Louisiana. They raised them.
I'm thinking like it's fairly new. I'm thinking like 2009 or 11 or something like that.
I've got a fake whooping crane egg in my classroom.
Cool.
From a thing when I went to, and they talked about it, but it was the introduced ones. Because then you also have a flock that flies to Florida.
Yeah, I think those are phasing out because I don't know, maybe Florida has too many predators. There are too many things that will eat you if you live in a marshy area of Florida, or your hatchlings anyway.
I heard there was an issue that
fizzled out.
Well, I heard that at one point there's an issue with like power lines and
those. That's a problem too. Yeah. So I think those are phasing out. I don't know if they have any left there. They've moved some of them to Louisiana, so they'll. And the reason for having different populations is because, like, you wouldn't want them all in Louisiana because one big hurricane and there goes your critically endangered population. So the large naturally occurring one that goes from Canada to Texas, and then a reintroduced flock in Louisiana, so they aren't all concentrated in one place.
Well, it's crazy that they have such a hard time surviving when you have something like the sandhill crane, which isn't drastically different, and they're doing great.
Right, mm-hmm. There are tens of thousands of them. So yeah, I'm not sure why they have done so well, and the whooping cranes were just about as close to extinction as you can get in the teens in the 1940s. That was from, as with many species, overhunting, habitat loss and such. But why the sandhills didn't have that same fate, I'm not sure, because they look so much alike. They're almost the same size. They're all about 5 feet tall. So large, majestic birds. But yeah, one of them, the sandhills have flourished, and the whooping cranes need a lot of help. So they only have, I think they're like 870 total. So not a big population at all, but a nice bounce back from 15 to 20. That was a nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's slowly but surely the numbers are coming up. But
I knew that in Louisiana when they first started reintroducing them, the big problem was hunters. They had lost a couple to hunters, which was always shot because there's no way you can talk your way out of. I accidentally shot a whooping crane.
No.
The only other white bird you would shoot at would be a snow goose, and it's not even close to the size of a whooping crane.
More understandable if they are. I mean, because that's just something they warn hunters about. Whooping cranes do fly with sandhill cranes sometimes. They'll be there in the flock. So, and they do look pretty similar. So if you're gonna shoot, you need to be sure you know what you're aiming at.
Yeah, don't shoot the 7-foot white bird or 6-foot white bird.
Right. I think it's maybe their heads look different, but I don't know if from a distance, if you're on the ground and they're flying, I don't know if I would myself to identify what was what. I mean, odds are pretty good you're going to hit a sandhill if they're going to flock, but I think you'd have to be really certain because you can't get away from that. But yeah, and that comes up in the book too, that they're not the birds that are, that my character finds. She discovers that nest, but she finds there are some that were hunted too. So that's still an occasional problem with them.
Right. I remember they mentioned that. One of the things that I really like at the Houston Zoo is at their whooping crane exhibit, they have the measuring that you can
next to
what's it called?
Ruler?
Yeah, well, it's not a ruler. I was thinking of a different word.
I mean, it's still a ruler.
But anyway,
it's a giant bird. You stand next to it and tells you how tall.
And I don't like the amusement parks that have you must be this tall. It's
correct.
That where it's like here's how tall they are.
And you can stand next to
and they're like 6 foot tall.
Mm-hmm. And that's really cool. I really like that exhibit. They have it set up really interesting.
The whole story with the whooping cranes that reminds me as a kid, because I grew up watching Fly Away Home, which is like
Oh, yes.
Oh,
And when I first started teaching, I talked about migration in like a biology 2
Right.
class I taught. I would show Fly Away Home. It's such a great one where they
Yeah.
flew with the birds, with the big, the little planes and all.
Yeah. They've done that with whooping cranes too,
Yeah.
to show them the route. And then from then on, they teach each other there. And then with the Louisiana ones, they're non-migratory because no one has shown them where to migrate. So they can stay year round here in the South. So because no one showed them where to go, how to migrate, they were just, established here. They don't migrate. But interesting, of course, a wonderful German word, they have a word to describe everything. So one that I picked up when I was at there's a crane center in Baraboo, Wisconsin, and they have a pair of every one of the world's cranes, every species of the world's cranes. I think there are 15 or 16.
that's cool.
North America, we only have in the wild, we only have whooping cranes and sandhills, but they have a pair of all of them. And so they had a members day, and I went to different presentations and got to ask questions so I can make sure that even though my books are fiction, I want the real life stuff to be realistic and accurate. I don't want to pass along incorrect information or have anyone who knows more than I do spot the mistakes and you're taken out of the story. But one of the presenters, when someone asked them about birds that don't migrate, they had heard, but don't they they seem like the behavior is different, as if they know it's time to migrate, but they don't have that, they haven't had that training. They don't know where to go. And she said, oh yes, there's a wonderful word called Zugenru. And it has to do with that tendency to take off. So they have to go. So they know it's something within them. It is time to migrate. These don't have a place, to go. Once in a while, one will take off. Like I think they found one in Nebraska. Of course, they're all tracked and tagged there. But so once in a while they will. But even if they don't take off, and others who've had worked with birds that are in captivity, either can't fly or they're contained, they notice they get a little keyed up when it's time to migrate. Like they know there's something they're supposed to do, but they don't have a way to get there, or they don't know where to go.
I think the whooping crane population would have been better had it been in any other state than Louisiana, where they will eat any animal that exists.
I mean, that is also
right.
true.
I was surprised it wasn't I haven't heard about natural predators being a huge problem. I'm sure they have some. Because if you're in they live in marshes in Louisiana. So some of the same problems I'm sure Florida has. But I was surprised. It's, I guess, not the biggest threat they have. But
no, if it's an animal in Louisiana, the biggest threat is going to be people eating it. I guarantee there is some Cajun with a recipe for how to eat.
Oh, sure.
Whooping crane.
Right.
As someone who lived there, I know they will eat anything.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. No. Oh, sure.
Not legally, but you mentioned just a second ago how the different research that you've been doing. That's actually one of the things that I loved the most about your books is they are fictional books. So I read Secret Language of Birds first, and then I read A Song for a Whale, which has a repeating character in the book. I should have flipped them and read them so they were chronologically.
Order, but yes, Secret Language of Birds takes place a year after Song for a Whale, but it's not considered a sequel because it's not the same main character. It's called a companion novel. And I hadn't planned that. So it's really the annoying nemesis in this book. I was surprised people kind of liked her. And she should have given her a bit more chance to, be friends. And I think she really wanted to be friends with her. And I thought, she's pretty annoying about it though. But I thought, all right, I guess maybe she needs a book of her own. So I gave Nina a story in this, and I had to explore because I just knew her as a very minor character in a few chapters in this book. So I hadn't gotten to know her as a main character who I want to know like a real person. So I had to figure out, all right, why is she like that? Why is she so annoying? Why does she come across as a know-it-all? Why does she try so hard to show off what little she knows? When I talk to students, I say, I'm not picking on kids here. Like there are grown adults who do this, who have watched a YouTube video and, they know this much, but, suddenly they know more than the experts. So why does she do that? Oh, she must not feel very smart, because I think the smartest people I've known are perfectly comfortable saying they don't know something, or here's how we can find out, or here's someone who knows more. So I thought, all right, I think doesn't feel very smart. Why is that? why does she end up pushing someone away when she's trying so hard to be friends? So it was kind of some fun work to get to know that character more, to make her, worthy of her own story then.
It was interesting for me because I did read them backwards. So I knew more about Nina.
Right.
And then when I
coming from then. Yeah.
Exactly. So then when I read Song for a Whale, I was like, man, I could totally see why they did not get along well
Right.
in this book.
Right.
But at the end for Song for a Whale, there was you included a whole author's note that talked about the research that you did on the whale that you based off of Blue 55 in the book. And it was just the whole concept behind it of using audio frequencies and all the songs being different.
I was going to ask what I didn't read any of them because they're books.
It's an audio too, if you like audiobooks.
I know.
What species of whale is in? Are we?
Actually, so in the story anyway, it's a bluefin hybrid. I did that because that's one guess about why the real life whale in real life called Blue 52, or the loneliest whale, you could look up. So this is a whale who is so named because he sings at a frequency of about 52 hertz, which is a lot higher than most whales. They should be about 10 to 20. His frequency has come down over the years, but still it's way too high.
So it's like the old time, like the castratos, where they castrate the boy so they have the high voice their entire life.
That, but I guess.
Sure. Okay.
He just had to wait.
I didn't even know what you were talking about.
He had to wait for his testosterone to hit.
No.
So now his voice is dropped.
No, I don't know.
He had to wait for the change.
No, sir.
Yeah, it hasn't happened. I mean, he's been around since the late 80s that we know of. That's the first time someone heard this sound and realized, okay, that's a whale, but it's really weird. He has, there are some patterns to it that seem like a blue whale song, some that seem like a fin whale song, but either case, it's way too high. So that's some speculation about why the whale has a weird song. And so in the book, I want it to be a known whale that is tracked, and so it's feasible for my character to, even though it's a weird, a wild plan to try to go from here to the Pacific coast to try to track down a particular whale. So I did want it to be one that was known and tracked, and people knew like approximately where he was. And so I went with that, a speculation that in the story, it's one that is known as a bluefin hybrid.
And I guess because you haven't read this book, I should probably give you a little background. So you have the girl, and the main character in this particular book is deaf.
Right.
And so she learns about this whale in her science class, and her science teacher is the only teacher that she really likes on that campus.
So not based off of me. Got it. Okay.
Not you.
My kids don't like. Got it.
No. But this one is like she talks to her, not at her or at her interpreter and that sort of thing. So she really just feels welcome in her science class, and she's a very bright girl. Yeah. So even though her other teachers kind of treat her differently because she's deaf, or like she's slow because she's deaf, which she is not. Yeah. But she also does a lot with repairing radios. Her grandfather taught her how to do that before he passed. And so you're dealing with that aspect in the book as well. And then her wanting to fit in, even though she's deaf, because her parents and her brother are hearing. Right. They're not deaf. And so she learns about this whale, and suddenly she feels like there's another creature out there who fits into the world just like she does. Gotcha. And so she wants to help him out. And so then she starts learning about the frequencies and
so you just explained all that. In my mind, it's like, how does a fin whale bang a blue whale? That's a huge size difference.
Well, not telling me. Yeah, somewhat, but they are the two largest whales.
I mean, it's not like a minke whale or something trying to.
Right. Yeah, I think it would probably be possible with another, but they are the two largest whales. So it does happen occasionally. There's one off the Pacific coast that is known as a hybrid. He's called Flu, which is a dumb name, but they put together fin and blue. Like call him anything else, but he's there. There was one that would show up in Iceland now and then. So it happens occasionally, at least that we know of. So maybe not too often, but at least that we know of it. It can happen. But yeah, she hears that or learns about this whale and is thinking, well, I know that song. I know that weird song. So has that connection of being alone, even when in a crowd. Obviously, the whale is surrounded by other ocean life, certainly passes by other whales. She's surrounded by other, how many hundreds of students at school, but none of them share her language. So she is
Hmm.
someone who's alone, even around other people.
Mm-hmm. And so the book is kind of her journey to connect with the whale.
Right.
And but along that journey, I know for me, I was learning a ton about frequency and a ton about how to, like, at one point she works with the music teacher at her school and the kids in the band, and you learn about all these instruments that play at 55 hertz, and she creates her own song. And so all of that was just like, I didn't even know there were scientists out there that do nothing but study the sounds that they record from deep in the ocean.
Right.
So it introduced a whole lot of career opportunities for me that I was like, this is cool. Like, if this is something you're interested in, you could make a life out of this.
Yes.
And as a teacher, I like books that have those opportunities to, when you talk about what do you want to be when you grow up, it's, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a football player. You don't think about the really obscure jobs out there.
As a teacher,
You don't care.
As a teacher, no. As a teacher, I know that my kids, if we talked about whales, asked me questions like they did a few years ago, where they thought they knew what lip gloss was made out of.
Why?
What if anybody doesn't know, that my students at one point thought lip gloss was made out of whale semen,
We had a whole podcast about this.
but it wasn't during a
They
book
did-
about
So
whales.
James teaches high school, and
And-
I teach 10.
And it's one of those things we talked about earlier. They see a video online. I guarantee there was a TikTok or a meme or something that said lip gloss was made out of whale semen.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
And it became a fact. And then I simply asked them to think about the logistics of the process,
They
Which
probably
would be a
didn't think that through. How?
which would be a completely different jobs. You talk about jobs for
No,
people. That's
yeah,
like completely different.
Who wants that job? No.
This is why I teach 10-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And then, well, and actually, I didn't plan for acoustic biology to be a part of Secret Language of Birds. I hadn't thought of that. But then when I read that the whooping crane's call, and I suspect this is true for many animals, is somewhat like a fingerprint in that each one sounds a little bit different. Now, probably to us, just listening to them, they would all sound the same.
Yeah.
But if you could get a recording of it, you can match up and see, are these two calls from the same crane or a different one? So then when I find that out, and there's a mystery in that one of the birds of the pair is not wearing a tracker, is not wearing a tag. No one knows who she is. When she does contact the Fish and Wildlife, they tell her, okay, the boy, that's Willie Nelson. We knew he took off. We don't know who the girl is because we're not missing anyone else. And so it really bothers Nina as someone who already feels a little invisible and overlooked, like when her family leaves her at Buc-ee's on a road trip. She's thinking, well, no, each of these cranes is significant. They're so rare that, people who work with them know each one individually. This isn't right that no one knows who she is. We need to figure out who she is. It's not enough that, months later we'll do a blood test and figure out. No, we need to know her name. And so she wants to figure out who this is. And then she finds that, well, if you can get a recording, you can match it up with this database and see who that is.
Huh. There's also worse places to be left than a Buc-ee's.
And she does acknowledge that too, that, there are worse places you could be left, but still doesn't feel great when the family minivan is driving down 290 and nobody notices they're one kid short.
There's tons of food and good bathrooms. So at least you got those two
say,
things.
I love when I read books and I'm like, oh, I know exactly where this is.
Yeah. So when I sent packages to the Louisiana Fish and Wildlife and that Crane Center in Baraboo, to thank them for answering my many questions and even reading the whole draft to give feedback. So I sent them some copies of the book and a bunch of snacks from Buc-ee's.
Nice.
So the Wisconsin people really like that one because they don't, they of course don't get to Buc-ee's often.
Right. I love it.
Louisiana, I think, is getting a Buc-ee's at some point soon.
It's on the plans. We've talked about it because whenever we go back to Alexandria,
I think around Lafayette was last I heard.
Oh, okay.
we have friends that are always like, oh, bring us this from Buc-ee's or bring us this from Buc-ee's. And a lot of them come over to Houston for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So do you have like a list of animals that you're like, this is the list of animals I want to at least write a book at some point on? Because I mean, you got the
And-
blue whales, and you got the
And so my
Yeah.
question was
Crank.
actually, do you come up with the animal first or do you come up with the main character first?
oh yeah.
So far, it's been there's something interesting I've learned about an animal. Like there's this whale who can't talk to other whales. How fascinating is that? I don't know if I'll ever top that for interesting animal. And then I'll find, okay,
Odd.
who's the kid who can connect to that? Why is this kid so drawn to this animal? For the upcoming book, Three Blue Hearts, which is also really pretty.
You said that comes out in
It's out in October. As
October.
it happens, the day before World Octopus Day, which is a total coincidence.
That's cool.
Yeah. So October 8th is World Octopus Day. This will be out on the 7th. This one I've been working on for so long. And so I had this character in mind for a long time. I knew there would be some conflicts with his dad and his expectations. And this is a sweet kid who loves books and animals. And I didn't know, I went through like different animals, like what could it be? Is he, does he find a lemur or, what is it? So, and then I had there's a pretty strong subplot in here with one of his friends whose family, with the best of intentions, had taken an orphan chimpanzee and then got too close. They do some wildlife rescue, but in this case, they got too close and she was more like part of the family. And so as this story starts, that's in their backstory. They very recently found a placement for her at a sanctuary. So I had that going on as a separate book. And so this is maybe 2 or 3 books squished together that finally landed. So each one needed something more. So then it was later that the octopus came in and I went, oh, that's what I'm going to do. So a couple things, like I'd read Osai Montgomery's Soul of an Octopus. I don't know if that was like 2013 or 15, something like that. Fascinating book. Then I was at home and had a National Geographic next to me that had an octopus on the cover. And then after a big storm in Florida, there was this picture that was making the rounds of an octopus in a parking garage. And so that really stuck with me as this out of place, image, this out of place animal after a storm. So I love that, finding this animal out of place. So it's not going to be in a parking garage, but my character Max is at this coastal town, loosely based on Indianola. In the story, arrives when it's storming. Not a great start to the summer, but he finds this injured octopus on the beach. And then he's able to find help for her and ends up taking care of her over the summer.
Have you read Remarkably Bright Creatures?
Oh, yes. I think I listened to the audiobook. It was excellent.
I listened to that audio as well.
Really well
and
done.
I liked Octopus before, and then I read that one and was just like, ugh.
Well, I haven't watched the documentary, but isn't there a documentary where it's like My
Octopus Teacher is one.
Yeah.
Secrets of the Octopus is a newer one. And then I think there's a new one coming out maybe this fall.
See, the octopus is definitely on my short list of if any animals on Earth originally were aliens.
Right? Yeah.
It's axolotl. Axolotl's number 1.
Yeah.
But then I'm followed up by the octopus because it's an insanely smart animal. The only the thing that always gets folks is I show so every year I teach classification, and when I get to the family of mollusks, and then we get to cephalopods. It's a fun group to teach because for anybody that doesn't know, short lesson on cephalopods, there's 4 main groups of cephalopods, and they slowly get more intelligent as they get less hard stuff in their body. You have the special cousin who rides the short bus. That's the nautilus. He just swims around in a shell and bumps his helmet against stuff. He's not that great. And then you get smarter to the cuttlefish, which I love cuttlefish. I think they're one of my favorites. But then they have the cuttlebone on the inside. And then you get to the squid, which has the pin, which is very, very thin. And then you have the octopus, which has nothing. But the thing that always gets my kids is like some facts pop up on the video afterwards. It's like the giant octopus lives for 5 years. And that always gets them that like this amazing animal is like 5 years. And then for the females, once they have babies, it's like, oh, look, they die.
Right. And the males die after mating too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know because we had the question about fun facts. I don't know, maybe not so fun for the octopus, but one thing that just blows my mind, the Argonaut octopus, that is one that does make a shell. So with that, because the male in this case is much smaller than the female, and so to avoid getting cannibalized, because she'll do sort of a praying mantis move after mating. So to avoid that, he rips off his reproductive arm and throws it at her and then swims away. And he's going to swim away and die anyway. but
just
he
don't
doesn't
get
want to
eaten.
cannibalize. So he just throws it, and it goes. It has a mind of its own. It goes where it needs to go, and that's
Do you
how they make
think?
it. So they
Fascinating.
both will, and then she'll die after the eggs hatch.
Do you think he dies because he ripped off his reproductive arm? Because I mean, if I ripped off that,
Sure.
I probably would want to die at that point too.
But of any species, though, the males die after mating too. So it's going to happen either way. I don't know. Maybe they don't think that through, like they're not aware of that, and
I
or it's
didn't
just,
know
I
that.
don't want to get cannibalized, so I'll just swim off.
You're
and-
looking it up now, aren't you?
No,
Oh,
I was typing in types of octopus. One of my favorite types of octopus is the Dumbo octopus with its little
Oh,
flappy ears.
I do like
yeah,
that
they look-
one.
They do look. Yeah, they're so funny.
You have a little 3D print of one of
Of
those.
the Dumbo
that
one,
is
yeah.
so
It's a great
cute.
one.
Yeah, they look
But-
really goofy.
So, Robert, I'm glad that you're no longer in traffic.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know that you're
our
glad
co-host
to be
Robert
out
is
of
now
your
here.
car.
I'm
So,
here.
So you know that
Well,
she said her book comes out October 7th,
that's funny. It's October.
which is
Right.
ha 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 ha. But you know what week that is?
What?
That's the week before we leave for our cruise. And I
Oh.
always need books to read on the cruise.
We'll see.
There you go.
So, fun fact of October is a lot of the months are in the wrong order than they originally were, which is why I missed
Oh,
it. But
sure.
You look at October, and you're like, why is October the 10th month? And like,
Right.
'cause it's not supposed to be. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be the 8th month.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a post that goes around now and then saying with someone, probably a tweet with someone saying, whoever arranged the months like this should be stabbed. And then someone replies, I have good news for you.
I think it was August was for
Right.
Augustus. Was
Yes,
for
yeah.
Roman for Augustus, and then what was the other? Was it June? I can't remember which
June,
other
I
one.
think, would be Jupiter, named after
Yeah, 'cause
Jupiter.
December was 10 Deca. December,
Yeah.
November was
Yeah.
9,
Mhm.
October was 8, September was 7, and then they're like, no, we want months named after us, and they threw months into
Right.
the middle and screwed up all of
Yeah.
calendars for everyone.
Didn't know any of this.
All calendars are screwed up because people wanted months named after themselves.
Right.
Oh, good to know.
But just other fun fact about the octopus, and I think it's the National Zoo. One of my favorite stories was the National Zoo because they used to have an invertebrate house at the National Zoo in DC, and it was one of my favorite places of any zoo. And then they unfortunately closed that part of the zoo down. But they had a huge giant octopus exhibit. And I want to say it was them. When they first opened it, they had a problem with fish going missing in other tanks, and they couldn't figure it out. And come to find out, the octopus would crawl out of its tank, crawl across the aquarium, drop
Yeah.
into the other tanks, eat the fish, and then return back to its
Yeah.
tank by morning.
So I
Yeah.
think that may have been in Remarkably Bright Creatures. The chapters alternate between the octopus's point of view and the main character's point of view. The
Yeah,
people,
there are a few.
and there's a few references back, and I was like, I remember hearing James talk about
Yeah, I
this.
think it's the
I'm like-
National Zoo that.
and I think it
Yeah.
was that one, but it was
Yeah.
that was. If you've not read that book and you,
But that's
enjoy
also
reading,
like a lot of people.
fabulous.
A lot of people have had that issue with they want to own an octopus and the octopus ends up dying because if you have any
Yeah.
holes in your octopus
Oh, yeah.
tank, they
They're
can,
brilliant.
They can get out of any. I mean, because the only hard part on their body is a
beak.
beak. It looks like
Yeah.
a parrot beak. Anything that this can fit through, they can get out. They're very
Mhm.
very squishable, and they can get out of. So that's why it's hard to keep them contained. So they have to have a lid on the tank, something weighing it down. Have to have a cover on any pipes, anything in there. So a lot of you, I'm sure, have aquariums, and so anything they could possibly get out of, because it's happened. So they'll get out and escape if they're lucky, or just be found the next
Die
day
in the
if they're-
process.
No, yeah.
I heard someone this past week when we were at a like a little boutique expo and we were selling 3D printed stuff and I have some octopus models. I heard someone like saw the octopus and told her friend that she was horrified of an octopus. I'm like,
Why?
How are you afraid of? Like,
It's not like we have
I
them
didn't
around
want to be like
here.
you have a 0% chance of running into one on land because they can just like
Right.
roam on
I
land.
mean, probably
but-
not. Yeah, probably not.
But in
But-
Texas, come on.
But
Yeah. I guess if someone is, kind
Maybe
of,
it's all the legs.
we
Maybe
mentioned
she's
about,
like,
so many arms, and they are kind of, they're slimy. So yeah, that could be it. They just kind of have an ick about that. But yeah, they're fascinating.
Darren said put encyclopedias in the octopus tank. That's an old snake. Yeah, bring back your snake. But
Yeah.
if you were in the
In
hobby
fact,
20, 30 years ago.
I just saw the other day someone sent me a TikTok video of a mom who it took place at the San Antonio Aquarium, and the first shot of it has her kid's arm. I think he's like 8 years old, has little red circles all up and down his arms. And she said, you won't believe it when I tell you what this is from, but I need some animal experts to weigh in. And so she has video of them at the San Antonio Aquarium. They have a giant Pacific octopus in a touch tank and with no staff around. So yeah, they should not be in a touch tank, open top.
I feel like
we need to go before
I feel like it wandered into the touch tank. I don't,
probably ate a bunch of stuff, but
oh yeah, I mean, I think they're like 100 pounds or something. And so, and they've been there many times. And so an octopus expert who chimed in said, yeah, he likely did recognize your kid, and he swam over to him, and he grabbed on, and you cannot get him. You cannot get him out. And he was like crawling halfway out of the tank. So many reasons staff should be there supervising this for the safety of everybody, and so the octopus doesn't crawl out.
Or a docent at least.
I'd be worried about the octopus getting hurt. Like,
yeah. I mean, when I've been to aquariums with touch tanks, and there are staff standing there to make sure everything is okay, nobody's hurting anyone.
I've never seen an octopus
peel the arms off of this kid, and and then they're not really. I think they're not really responding to her concerns. Like they're posting a video like, oh, look at all the space in this tank. And oh, yes, it's so fun when they grab onto you. Let's peel this out. Like
I've never seen an octopus in a touch tank.
I know. We gotta go.
No, for good reason. Yeah, they should not be.
But with that said, the giant octopus is far less scarier than when you talk about squid. I think squid in that group are far scarier than an octopus.
I agree.
I mean, some of them have hooks on their
suction cups. Oh, they are. Yeah, they're a little scarier.
And they've actually literally been known to pull like fishermen out of small boats, whereas the octopus may just crawl in and stare at you.
Yeah. Oh, if you read Daniel Krause's book, Whale Fall, or, wait for the movie, since you mentioned it'll be a movie. I think James Brolin is starring in it.
So,
and it's one about a guy is diving, he's scuba diving, and a tentacle from a giant squid attaches to him, and then a sperm whale comes and eats the squid. And so they both go into the whale. So most of the book takes place inside of a whale. Yeah.
Oh,
the one that's so
very Jonah.
Another talking about my stupid students. The other thing I have to teach every year is that whales don't shoot water out of their blowholes. That's cartoons have ruined that. And they're like, yes, I do. I'm like, no, that'd be like you breathing in water and then shooting water back out.
It does kind of look like it, yeah. But show them there's a wonderful device and wonderfully named the Snotbot. So it is a way. It's a way to collect DNA from whales in a non-invasive way. So there's a drone that will go out with a petri dish on it. It flies over the whales, and when they spray, that gets into the petri dish. They fly back to the lab, probably on board a ship, and they can find out a lot about the whale that way.
This is a job, James.
That's a job. Yes. You say it's a job, but it's probably not. It's some grad student who has to do this, who has to collect whale snot.
How freaking cool is that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool if you got paid for it, but it's probably a grad student who sits in a lab all day looking at whale snot.
But if that's what they want, that's what they love. Yeah.
Just imagine explaining that on your job interview. I got my master's degree collecting whale snot.
That's so crazy.
But they don't, because otherwise you have to pull up in a boat. It's more dangerous for everyone. You have to get close enough in a boat to shoot a little, I think it's like a hollow point dart type thing. And so they can just get a little skin sample. But of course you're getting your boat pretty close to a whale to do that. So much less invasive. Just fly a drone over and wait for them to breathe.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what is on your short list of animals that you've thought of that you would like to do?
Oh, right. So I keep thinking I want to write some nonfiction work too. And so, but I do have a big idea file I keep, because I'll be working on one book and then I'll think of ideas for another, or I'll see an article and think, oh, that can make an interesting book. Okay, I need to just drop a link on my idea file and move on, because I have, so many animals that are fascinating. I would love to write about. I would love to write something about sharks, either a novel or a nonfiction work about sharks.
Any specific species?
No, but it blows my mind that sharks are older than Saturn's rings. Outlive the dinosaurs. They've survived all of the mass extinctions the world has had, and probably will continue doing that. So maybe something about it's like kind of like sharks through the universe, like sharks through time, and what all they've survived and what all has happened to the world and the universe while sharks have been here.
Every year I have to convince, I shouldn't have to convince them, but I have to convince my students that Megalodon is dead.
Oh, I know. I think every shark expert laments that they have to keep answering questions.
And their response, I'm like, yeah, it's extinct. It couldn't live now. The food, it's weather, it's different.
Yeah.
Well, they're like, well, you don't know. I'm like, but you don't know. Your argument can't be, I don't know, so therefore I'm right.
Yeah.
Versus you.
Right.
Like,
if the shark experts will say no, like we would know if they're out there. And in fact, there was like one of the mass extinction events benefited smaller sharks. So it took out larger animals, and then maybe the deeper water ones or ones that eat smaller food, then they got to flourish because there wasn't much competition.
Well, because even Megalodon would have been a fairly shallow water shark to survive. It would have been, like great whites are a fairly shallow water shark. And so I'm like, we haven't seen, like, it's the same as I have to convince people that Bigfoot's not real. I'm like, we live in a country full of people with guns that go hunting and no one has shot one. It's not real. It
would happen.
Especially if he was anywhere close to Louisiana.
It was someone would have had there would have been a Bigfoot recipe. It would have existed already.
Oh yeah.
But all right, so I want to get to our question.
Okay.
And so maybe somebody will give you ideas for animals you can do. So our fun facts. We asked our listeners, what's your favorite fun fact about an animal? Anybody in chat, if you have one that you haven't added to the list, let us know. But there's some here, and there's something that left off that I want to bring up too. But this one fits because Jason Creekmore said just how smart an octopus is, which we talked about. Intelligent. I'm telling you, there's a chance they're aliens. They're way too smart.
Puzzle solvers.
Yeah.
We mentioned they're hard to keep in captivity because they are so smart and such good escape artists, and they will figure things out.
Which is it's insane. Timothy said it can take a giraffe up to 15 minutes to throw up.
I never thought of that, but with your neck that long. Oh, that sounds horrible though. That sounds like it would be.
Could you imagine dry heaving
throwing
that
up
long?
is bad enough, but if it takes, because you don't want it to take that long, you want it to be over.
You want to be done
and move on. Yeah, that would be awful.
That's rough.
He also said a snail can sleep for 3 years, which Timothy, I'm taking your word on this. I don't know.
Know that.
Someone out there I'm sure knows it.
Because you would think after some time, okay, my snail is dead. I need to throw it away.
Yeah, it hadn't moved for a while.
Someone has kept it just in case, and then said, "Oh, now my snail's awake. It's been 3 years." I don't know how they discovered that.
And then he mentioned just the idea of parthenogenesis, where reptiles they kind of clone themselves. They don't always clone. It's not always like sometimes females can it depends on the chromosomes. They can parthenogenesis. They get males. They get only males. But the whole parthenogenesis is weird because that whole system is
the whole thing
really made to try and fill in when there's not enough people, not enough individuals to breed. So let's make more so we can not have to do this.
Okay. I Googled.
Snails?
Yes. Oh. And multiple sources are saying that they do that. They sleep for long periods of time when the conditions are not conducive for them to survive. So if they need to survive a harsh condition without food or water for extended periods, if the moisture in the area is not what it needs to be for them, if they're getting dried out, or if there's a big drought, they can actually seal themselves inside their shells with a layer of mucus, which conserves their energy and their moisture levels. So if you kept snails for a pet and the environment was correct, you would never see this. Yeah. It's like a puffer fish. You don't want to see them puff up, because that means they're stressed out. But
that'd be kind of nice to just say, you know what, this is bad. I'm going to nap.
I'm going to take a nap. I do that when
the next year or two.
When I've had a bad day, I just take a nap.
Maybe I'll wake up in 3 years. Life will be better.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And then we'll see. And then maybe go back for a nap.
I'll eat a pizza and take another three-year nap.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Sean Gray said that I had to look up because he's a scientific in Crucia, so it's monkey tail skinks or prehensile tail skinks. He says it's the only reptile, but I did a search. There was another skink, but the only reptile to have a placenta.
Oh,
so that was interesting.
Interesting.
Because even live birth snakes, it's not a placenta; it's just a clear jelly egg inside the female, and then it hatches in that. But this would mean it's connected to the mom.
Okay.
And then also that he says they eat toxic plants. because they eat mostly in the wild. They eat mostly what do the people grow in like doctors' offices on the counter and everywhere? What's the vine I'm thinking of?
I kill everything I try to grow.
Robert, what's the vine I'm thinking of that everybody grows and puts in their plants?
And all the bioactive tanks.
Yeah.
Pothos?
Pothos, yeah. Pothos. That's what it is. We also had our friend Becca from the Learning Zoo said the echidna and platypus lay eggs, which is always a fun one.
That's wild too. Yeah.
And then the male platypus is also venomous, which gets to mention Isaac says here as well. They're venomous.
Yeah.
That's also just the entire island of Australia is weird. Just evolution went crazy there.
Yeah.
Isaac said also that mourning geckos are lesbians. Yeah, they live in female colonies and give birth through that. They're weird.
But wait a minute, that
what?
Just because they live together?
No, they don't. It's like basically Partho babies and all. Like you can.
But there's no mating going on.
Let me look real quick. I know that mourning geckos reproduce asexually through parthenogenesis. Yeah, meaning they don't need a male to reproduce. They are all female species, and females can lay eggs on their own. Although males occasionally occur, they are rare and usually sterile.
Huh. Okay.
So it's the ladies' compound they have.
I do it all myself.
Because people will breed mourning geckos to feed like small lizard-eating animals, lizard-eating snakes and stuff, because they reproduce
because they're so like crazy. Quick.
Yeah.
Is that what Becca and Drew have on the edge of the counter?
At the Learning Zoo? Yep.
Okay.
I saw it's funny this cover. I saw a picture of this today. The echidnas have a 4 to 5 headed genitalia.
I did. Did somebody post that on our Facebook or did you send it to me?
I didn't send that to you. But I did see it somewhere.
I have recently seen that, and I'm not in a lot of the same groups you're into because I remember thinking, what in the world is
It's a weird. It looks like one of those like when you have the extension cord with the multiple.
No, you know what it made me think of? You know the game where you have to put like the triangle in the triangle shape and the square in the square shaped? It's like the ball that you open when you're a toddler.
Yeah.
This looks like some little 5-sided star thing that you have to put in some weird shape.
It is weird.
I thought maybe it was on our
but I don't think Lynn's gonna write a book about
please don't
a kid with penises.
Under a pseudonym, maybe
you
like
venture. I'm sure there is a
weird dongs of the animal kingdom.
There is a
see whales fit in there.
They have some weird stuff.
Weird enough having two.
Well, and cats have spikes on it, which everybody wonders why cats scream when they breed. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Or ducks having corkscrew penises.
There are some weird things out there in the adult book world. So
you can do a whole book on animal penises.
Yeah, sure. There's also a sea slug that theirs are detachable and they have spikes on them, and then they grow a new one the next day.
Well, that's beneficial
because they're all hermaphroditic, so it's sort of like this happening, and then leave everything there. The next day, grow a new one.
That's a different way of like hit it and quit it. Just imagine like go home with the wrong chick, and instead of like having to sneak out, you're just like, I'm just leave my penis here, and then I'm gonna go.
Just leave it. Yeah.
I'll get a new one. You keep that one.
Oh my god.
Well, it's like worms who are hermaphroditic, and they'll line up and they can breed with it. It's a whole weird process too. Also, Isaac said that Australia has lost a war to emus, which I looked that up earlier. They literally the military went to go and try control the emu population, and they failed.
Were they naked ones? Because those are strange.
No, the featherless emus are weird. No, these all had feathers like normal.
Weird dinosaurs.
But the military, they said they couldn't shoot them. They were too fast and elusive, and they couldn't. I don't know. I think you send a bunch of Cajuns there and tell them, hey, they taste good. Then take care of that population. My favorite one that didn't get put on this list are wombats. Does anybody know where I'm going with wombats?
I don't.
Yeah, I think so.
Wombat poop is cube shaped.
Square poop.
What? I'm Googling that right now.
Yeah, it comes out as a cube.
Wombat.
I read too that they can because they like in their butts are really strong. And so when they go into this does remind me of there's an Austin author, Kari Lavelle, who has a wonderful series called Butt or Face. And it started with it's a book with different pictures on it because there are animals that have, like they have some insects have like eye spots.
Or like the was it starface moles?
Yes, that's what I was just thinking of the mole.
You look at this picture, it's a close-up of an animal and it says, are you looking at a butt or a face? And you have to guess, and you turn the page, it's a butt, and then it'll tell you about the animal.
Okay.
We got to do
I need that book. I need that book.
Do that on this podcast, man.
I wish I had it in here. I could show you, but look up. I actually do have it. I could grab it. So there's butt or face, And then the follow-up is Revenge of the Butts. In September, there's World's Grossest Butts. So it'll be, I think there are whales in it because there are some that use a poop defense, like the whole pod poop right now. And we're going to this is our defense and we're going to take off. So World's Grossest Butts, and next year is Adora Butts. So it's like she's got the whole butt empire going. I don't know if she wanted that to be her life. But.
This is totally going to be like our first zoology club meeting because there's a YouTube video that goes with the book.
Oh,
okay. I'm just going to show
elementary
the
kids'
video.
butts.
Because it's
I don't know if you can get away with that.
It's a children's
Oh yeah,
book.
because they're animal. Yeah, because they're animals, and so it could be like some kind of.
And we're gonna pause the video and have a conversation, and then read about the interesting facts.
Go in depth on animal butts.
Yes,
but
this is happening.
I got onto that tangent because of wombats. So their butts are really strong, and they go into their burrow. And if there's a predator coming, they can just hit them with their butt like against the burrow. So it's like you can get twerked to death if you're trying to go after a wombat.
They're also like their own little Minecraft animal. They make their own little cube turds, and then they can build their own buildings out of cube turds if they wanted to.
They could.
Yeah. So it's basically like it says, take a look at this photo. Do you think this is a butt or a face? What do you observe?
I've seen some people where that would be hard to tell.
Looking at us. And then you turn the page and it tells you, oh, we're totally doing this.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Club.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Butt or face.
$10 on Amazon.
She got the idea from, she actually goes to the same writing retreat as Jessica goes to. We do that twice a year in LaGrange. Mm-hmm. And she got the idea from, she read an article about farmers in Mozambique who were they paint eyes on the butts of their cattle so that lions won't approach them and attack because they approach. So she thought of this lioness looking back going, is that a butt or is that a face? And then she thought about, there are animals that do have butts that look like faces or faces that look like butts. Could this be and then it's fun to see it happen, to see this idea and then to see it happen.
Okay. So did you know, first of all, that there is a National Poop Day?
There's a national everything day.
February 3rd is National Poop Day. And so it talks about how the hashtags are great because it's like hashtag it's hip to be square. And it's this whole article. They are the wombat is the only animal in the world that poos cubes.
Yeah.
But it talks about why they're shaped and what you'll find in it. And this is cool.
So Is It Butterface reminds me of the thing I've seen on Facebook where it's is it a sex toy or a dog toy?
Oh yeah.
Because there are some when you go to PetSmart and you walk down the dog aisle, you're like, this doesn't look right. But you can't play that one with the kids.
No. I'm totally adding this book to my
Darren says he celebrates that day every day, at least sometimes twice a day. The poop day. So
sorry, it's got to wait till February 3rd.
You got to hold it, Darren.
I'm gonna add this book to my classroom wish list, and we're gonna see if somebody buys it for me.
Yes.
Oh, my other one, and I didn't bring it up earlier, but another one of my favorite animal fact, and I always mention this every year. I ask my students, what is the largest animal that's ever lived? And they usually never get it right. They always want to go with dinosaurs.
Oh, right.
But Katie, do you know the largest animal that's ever lived?
I feel like I should.
You definitely should. We've mentioned it today.
Still alive now.
It's the whale,
the
right?
blue whale.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Whale. Yeah.
I thought you were going to go with something super obscure, and I was going to be wrong. I mean, I'm wrong on this podcast quite frequently.
The largest animal ever beats any of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's hard to believe too. So they're larger than Tyrannosaurus or any other dinosaur, anything that's ever.
There's very few good pictures I have because I've tried to search for good pictures of to give you an idea of the size of a real blue whale with something.
Oh yeah.
And it's hard because a lot of them are just overhead views of it in the water, and you don't have a size reference.
Right. Yeah, it is hard to see. I mean, I guess, you could certainly there are charts, but it'd be nice to see actual video of it. But I guess because they're probably hard to approach maybe when someone's diving or
because they're 100 feet long and you can feel like a bus on their tongue.
Yeah.
They're massive. What did you just find out?
So I added the book to my wish list. And then if you scroll down on Amazon, it gives you other books of similarities that you might find interesting.
What were some of the
And this one is a chameleon who's very angry because he's trying to figure out who pooped on him. And it says, see if you can see it on this. It says, who pooped on me? And it's a very angry
That reminds me of the woman that has those Facebook videos where she reads the
very inappropriate books.
The kid books that aren't kid books, but the title
right.
Like the
parodies of
it was like the book was a guy, and his name was Mike Hunt, and everything is about Mike Hunt.
Yes. So
Yeah.
this is the bestseller in the disaster books for children. That's a category.
Oh, okay.
Getting pooped on is in the disaster. Okay.
But it's like, it's because it'll give you a preview and you can like look at some of the pages. So it's like he goes up to like the giraffe. Did you poop on me? And he's like all angry and pointing a finger, and he's going up to all the different animals to figure out while he's got bird poop on his forehead. Oh my God.
Now you're going to get so many recommendations.
I was going to say my Amazon is about to be all kinds of crazy now.
There's a fun picture book called, I think it's called What Do They Do with All That Poo? And it's a nonfiction book about what zoos do, like how do they get rid of it all. So it's an interesting informational book about how do they handle that? What are the logistics of getting rid of
so much poop?
So much poop. Yeah. Yeah.
So what all goes into when you're researching, like, so that I would say as a teacher and just as a human nowadays, the idea of research for the general public is non-existent, and they're horrible at it. Because the amount of incorrect information they'll just believe.
Yeah.
So what goes into when you want to do a book on, say, an octopus, or you want to do a book on whooping cranes? What goes into your research? Like, just first, let me go to Google first and then go from there, or?
Oh, I do read a lot. So I'll read articles, I'll read books, watch documentaries if I can find them. And the best research I do is talking to people who know more than I do about it. Like, talking to the Louisiana Fish and Wildlife people about the whooping cranes and how do they track them, and is it feasible for me to even have a pair of whooping cranes that are sort of lost and no one knows where they are. And they said, thankfully for me, not so great for them, but they said, oh yeah, those trackers fail all the time, we lose track of them. So okay, cool, it works for my book then. So because it was like, no, we know where they all are all the time. Okay, that doesn't work. So yeah, talking to people who've worked with them or studied them. So I'll email, and thankfully people are so happy to talk about their interest and so their fields, because who asked you about whooping cranes? So then people are always really lovely, answering questions and offering feedback. So it's a lot of different ways to research, but I'll find out things from talking to people, talking to experts that I never would have even thought to ask.
So do you have any reptiles on your short list of possible book ideas? So I can find some interesting reptiles.
Right. I don't know. There are a couple of turtles in this book, in the upcoming octopus book, because he's at a wildlife center. It's like it's this beach house that's like a vet clinic / wildlife center. So they have a sea turtle there with a cracked shell named Shel Swimmerstein. And then at the beginning of the book, his dad is a politician in Houston, and there's someone who approaches at dinner at the restaurant asking about they're concerned about a bayou expansion. I got this idea from a guy at the Houston Zoo who works at the Houston Zoo, because that's been a problem, that if you expand Buffalo Bayou here, and it was found that there are huge snapping turtles there, and it was a lot like nobody knew this for a long time because they blend in so well. You look out there and you think it's a log or something, but no, they're huge, and there are many of them. So now this interferes with the expansion, because if you put say a concrete sides on the bayou, a sea turtle can't crawl up on that and lay eggs, a snapping turtle in this case. So those are in there, and that comes back to that at the end. There. So they are in there. Nothing specific about a reptile though. I do love ocean animals. So if I did, it might be, and if I could think of something about a sea turtle, that could happen.
That's cool. So someone in the chat, Darren, wanted to know if you were into animals as a child.
Yeah, I have always been interested in animals. Trying to think of any that stood out in particular. Surprisingly, I do love birds now, but I wasn't always a bird person. I got attacked by a duck pretty regularly. So it's like, I don't wish them any harm. They're just not, I'm not one to approach the large birds. I'm more about the large mammals and ocean animals too. So yeah, but I've always been interested in animals and found them to be fascinating. Like, how do they communicate? What are their families like? How do they live? I always love that. So each book so far not so much with the octopus, since we don't know how they communicate, but so there's no acoustic biology in this one like in the others, but certainly, whale communication is important here because we have a whale that can't communicate with anyone else. And then with the whooping cranes, of course, trying to figure out who's this mystery crane. So that's something that comes up in them is animal communication.
Robert, I was trying to go back. Was Buffalo Bayou the one that ran by your old apartment? Is that Buffalo Bayou?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
all
but there's still a lot of big snappers and a lot of alligator gar and all kinds of stuff in the bayou.
I had first asked because I wrote to it was actually the guy who is over the Houston toad program at the zoo.
Yeah.
Because I think it's fascinating that there are no Houston toads in Houston. Not in the wild. There's a population at the zoo. So again, it's one of these in an attempt to preserve this species that's become endangered, kind of like having the different flocks of whooping cranes. There's a captive population of the Houston toad at the zoo. And so I was trying to think of, okay, what's this conversation that can happen? What's a project that this kid is worried about and wants his dad to try to stop or campaign against that could harm, some animals. So I said, could it happen that, we find a surprise. We found a population of Houston toads and now we can't do the highway expansion. And he said, nah, we know, we would know if they were here. So, and I don't know, I thought they're so small. Like, can't there be a surprise population somewhere?
I'm kind of with you on that. I feel like you don't know under all the rocks. Like they could be hiding somewhere.
Sure. But he said, no, they're in Bastrop. We're sure they're in Houston. But so he was the one who said, but here's the thing. So that's been nice too when a scientist said, no, that thing you're thinking about does not work, but here's something that will. And so he's the one who said,
there you go.
Snapping turtles have interfered with plans to expand Buffalo Bayou because they're endangered. And if you expand that, you're going to interfere with their ability to lay eggs. So that could work.
And I go back to Louisiana, which is the only state where you can still eat them because they eat everything.
Yeah. Which is, it's crazy that like here they're like, oh, we can't do it. We might hurt them. I'm like, they cook them next door. Like,
I don't know how that works if they're.
They still find them, eat them. They've got recipes. They'll tell you how great they taste. When I was a zookeeper, I used to get told all the time how great they taste. I'm like, I don't really want to hear that, but okay.
They always do that. Or like I'll have friends that'll message me. My brother actually messaged me. I didn't show you this. He prefaced the text message with, "It was dead when I got here." And I was like, what am I about to get a picture of? I was like, oh God. He was like, I just, I knew you, it was a very large rattlesnake that had been found on a hunting lease in Alabama. It was Seth. And he was like, it was dead when I got here.
Diamondback?
Yeah. But he was, it like hung over the side of a tailgate of a truck. It was gigantic.
Big Eastern Diamondback.
And he was like, dude, you should have just left it alone. Like, he's like, I wasn't hurting anybody out here.
No, the person that killed it always will have the exact same story. I saved kids' lives.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But my brother was like, I knew you, even though it wasn't a positive, I knew you would still. It was pretty.
Just appreciate the size. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. I just love that he prefaced it with, it was not me.
I found it. Yeah.
Well, and so talking about the snappers stopping construction, when we lived in Louisiana, one of these years was we have the red cockaded woodpecker, which is protected there. And I'd heard stories of people on their land that would find the red cockaded woodpecker nest in their trees, and they would cut down and burn that tree before they ever had a chance to send someone out to see it, because if you did see it, that they would stop you from being able to harvest lumber there, and then it would ruin the land. So they would go ahead and go out and cut down all those trees and burn them before anybody got a chance to see that the red cockaded woodpeckers were alive on their land.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I would be delighted to have them.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah. In my last house in Conroe, I had barn swallows nesting for about 5 years. They would come to the front porch and nest. And so when I moved, I left a note for the new owner. Like, it had other stuff too, like, here are the repair people I've called for all these different things, and here's the info about the sprinkle and all this. But mainly it was to say, look how cute these barn swallows are. They're going to come and build a nest on your porch, because I'm hoping she was just okay with it and would welcome them. Not everyone
Right.
wants them out there.
Oh,
I said,
yeah.
they're so cute. I think it's worth it to just hose down the porch every couple days, but I love to see them grow and fledge.
Yeah.
It was a delight. They're so cute.
So small birds like that don't bother me, and large birds like whooping cranes and vultures and like the big ones that could really do damage, they don't bother me. It's all the little ones in between.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of birds in between those two sizes.
Yeah, there are a lot there. Yeah.
We were when you and Joe took me to see the elephants that were the elephant statue herd that came through by the zoo. We were just kind of we had never actually walked through the park there, and so we did that day, and we were just kind of sitting by the water, and it was ducks, wasn't it?
I would imagine
that came up to us, or was it
geese? Maybe.
I don't know. They got super close to us, and I just sat there.
Oh no, it was all those ugly ass. What is that? What's the ugly duck?
It starts with an M, doesn't it?
No, Robert, you know what it is.
You're pretty.
Muscovy.
No, Muscovy.
Oh, okay.
So anyways,
weird red warty faces.
And my daughter was taking pictures. She, had been using her camera, and James is just like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm good." And then but eventually it got to a point where I wasn't. I was like, "Nope, not good anymore." And I just get up and move because they were way too close to my bubble. I'll birds.
Stop if I see them, crossing the road, but they're, I don't wish them any harm again, but
they just need to stay over there, and I can stay over here. No, not for me.
I was going to pull up there were some things I was going to pull up on Facebook.
Okay, go ahead.
Share that screen. So we're going to go ahead and go over the stuff that was posted on our discussion group, and we'll talk about that.
There's a gnat that keeps flying around my head.
I've got almost all of them. They just keep.
I thought about one of my fun facts about animals, a pretty recent one.
Which one?
Is that orcas now are doing, there's like this vintage fashion trend. There was a trend in the late 80s. Orca were wearing salmon on their heads like hats. And then they stopped doing it. Well, it's back now. So it's like vintage. And so
it's coming back around.
They're doing it again. They're wearing salmon as hats.
That's funny.
They're damn Y or X generation orcas.
Also wrecking yachts. So they're, that's fun too. But
I love the ones that eat just the livers out of great white sharks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's wild too.
I've read about that.
That's an insane learning thing that they're like, no, we can get just the liver out of these sharks. Right. We're good.
That's really precise. Just specific.
Yeah. So over our discussion page, Robert, you posted this one last week. It was a follow-up on what we talked about last week, where there was the story of the guy that committed suicide in Texas by a venomous snake.
Yes.
Which seems like one of the worst possible ways to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, especially depending on what snake. Do you remember what it was, Robert?
I think it was a monocle cobra.
Ugh.
It was definitely a cobra, but it was either a monocle or a spectacled. I can't remember.
I'll pass. You start getting into things that cause you to not be able to breathe, and you're sitting there suffocating. No, that doesn't.
I would rather be twerked to death by a wombat.
I'll take that.
I'm feeling that one for sure.
Our buddy Travis Wyman posted this one. We talked about this one, Robert. It was a new snake. The scientific name was named after Jane Goodall, which made no sense because first off, everybody knows Jane Goodall for chimpanzees in Africa, and this was some snake in South America. I'm like, I don't understand the idea of naming her after a snake in South America, which is I didn't get it, but they did. They named it something like Goodall Eye or whatever. But.
Oh, she's in this book too. She's in the octopus book also, because there's the character. It's a strong side character whose family had the chimpanzee, and the girl. I think she's 10 years old, who thought of this chimpanzee as her sister, and she was trying very hard to be the Jane Goodall for this chimpanzee. Was trying to do everything right, and then was going to convince her parents. I read chimpanzee girls don't leave their families till they're 12. We can do that, and they're like, no, she really doesn't belong with people. So we need to let her go.
This one is talking about conservation for tortoises. There's a video on Instagram for it. I didn't watch the video, but conservation for tortoises.
Now that I have Instagram, I can watch the video.
There you go. Travis says scientists fear the world's smallest snake has gone extinct in this article. Huh.
But then it says they just found it again.
That's what a blind snake it looks like.
I love the Smithsonian Magazine articles. They're fantastically written articles. That website is the.
No, I saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't read it.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
You need,
For
to start reading,
those,
you need to start reading these things ahead of time so you can tell me what they're.
for those of you that do like to read, James is a very intelligent person. I promise.
But-
it's not that he can't read.
but
He's lazy.
They make a movie. If it's good enough, we could explain to me. Anyways, this was this is a picture that Katie took for our buddy Norm and every other weird ass Canadian who likes ketchup chips. Freaking weird Canadians. Doritos now has tangy ketchup Doritos, which just sounds horrible. You can eat those along with your spicy mustard Doritos.
Super gross. I wonder though, is it just the Dorito chip with ketchup flavor? Because surely they wouldn't just put the ketchup flavor on top of the Dorito flavor. It's probably just the Dorito chip.
Kind of like nacho cheese. It's in there. It's not.
Well, yeah, because like the nacho cheese, the Cool Ranch ones don't taste like nacho cheese covered in Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
So it's the Dorito chip, but the flavoring is going to be
Ketchup.
nasty enough. It's going to be tangy ketchup.
Yeah. That's okay.
Again, Canadians, I don't understand you with your ketchup chips and your bagged milk.
Bagged milk.
Weirdos up there up north. This is a cool one. There's a coral snake eating a Western diamondback rattlesnake in Austin, Texas.
Well,
That's a pretty big meal for that snake.
Yeah.
Well, I got to turn the lights back on in the snake room. Joe's in there watering stuff.
Oh,
She's like, why'd the lights go off? It's because they're on timers.
that's
They
funny.
go off.
They go off at 8 or they go off at sunset?
Sunset, I think.
Okay.
This is really pretty. Pied rainbow boa had shed. Jack, our buddy Jack in the Netherlands posted this picture of a pied rainbow boa that shed. I say it's pretty. I still prefer a regular rainbow boa. I feel like you lose everything that's great about rainbow boa when you take away color, but it's still cool looking. The pied gene there. Let's see. Oh, there's some aberrant pattern copperhead, which is kind of cool, like a reverse stripe type deal.
I don't know that I knew copperheads came in different patterns.
Oh, tons of them.
That's cool.
It happens a lot. There's some patternless ones they found.
See, and that one's got the pattern down by the tail. That would mess with you though. Like if you memorize what snakes look like, and then you're out in the wild.
Well, that's why the coral snake rhyme doesn't work because there's a lot of aberrant pattern coral snakes.
oh.
Red on black thing, it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Oh,
stay away then.
yeah.
I knew that.
That is a coach whip eating a rattlesnake.
Oh, that's cool.
I still want to go out west and find one of these like bright pink coach whips.
If
Very
you look at the Ologies podcast, they had a recent 2-part episode about rattlesnakes. It's fascinating.
Oh, I'll have to look at that.
All of their episodes are like stuff that I wouldn't think would be all that interesting, and then I start listening. I go, I need to know more about moss. Hope this is a 2-parter. Just everything. Like so many topics, and they'll have interesting scientists on to talk about their fields.
I don't think I've ever said I needed to know more about moss.
Yeah, you will. But you can look up the rattlesnake episodes.
What are you looking up over there, Katie?
Sorry, it's my boss texted me. I'm trying to take care of something real quick.
It's no, school doesn't start till tomorrow.
But it's for tomorrow, so I need it.
Well,
Then you can answer it tomorrow.
yeah.
Because we have to go back to work
Already.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
I'd wake up and be there at 7.
Ugh.
That means you have to leave the house at 6:30. Do not wake me up.
Over the summer,
I
I've
don't
been
have to be there
closer.
till 8.
I've been closer going to sleep, closer to 7 going to sleep than I have been waking up.
Oh no. I did teach for a few years, but I don't think I could go back. I'm not anywhere at 7 except my bed. So that would be rough to go
Yeah,
back.
and I live like 30 minutes away from my school, so yeah, I gotta leave here at 6:30.
Oh,
Be there
wow.
at 7,
Yeah.
and then sit around all day for absolutely nothing. It's going to be
Because the kids aren't back yet, right? It's
no. We go
staff.
we go back Thursday, Friday, and then it's teachers all next week,
all
and
next
then
week.
students.
Okay.
So we get to sit through. It's funny. So there's a new Weird Al song that he's gonna actually play when we go see him. Hold on, I gotta tell you the name of it because I've never heard it.
It's a song you don't know.
No, I had to listen to it last night because it's a new one.
Oh, okay.
It's called Mission Statement, and the entire song is just him saying like buzzwords, like if you're sitting through corporate meetings.
Oh my
And I was
god.
like, as a teacher, I'm like, oh, this is what this next week is going to feel like. It's just going to be buzzwords.
Oh no.
Well, I also just found out like an hour ago that they want me to present for like 20 minutes.
Just say
on
buzzwords.
tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, I can get up and talk about that. I don't have a presentation or anything.
Buzzword.
I don't even remember my login to get back on that website, but sure, I'll be ready by after lunch tomorrow. I may be doing it in the morning before lunch.
Just
but
find a YouTube video. Show them a
it'll be
YouTube
fine.
video. Do something you do with kids
I
on a
think
day.
they want me to talk about this topic because I don't use the program the way that others do. I don't use it the way it's intended. I like implement it into my lesson so it doesn't take extra time for me. And that's with the older grade levels. They're like, we don't want to waste time teaching social and emotional learning skills, but it's something that our kids need. So I work it into whatever I'm teaching for the day.
Now, will they give you time in your classrooms too, like all next week, or is it a bunch
I
of?
mean,
I looked
I'll
at-
go up this weekend.
I looked at my schedule, and there's a lot of classroom time built into our schedule.
We don't have a schedule yet.
But like
so I don't
two of the
know.
days next week are just like content days. So we'll be some schools sitting through buzzword meetings about our content.
Oh
all day.
yeah.
I really tried to master the art of sleeping with my eyes open, just for teacher professional development. It didn't work, but yeah, I just wanted to be doing anything else. You wanted to be in your classroom or something like this. Isn't
Someone from the district reached out to me at the beginning of the week last week, and she was like, "Hey, I wanted you to present. However, the day that you would be doing that is the same day that everyone else has to do their open house. So they're going to be stuck in workshops until 3:00 that afternoon. And then they all have to get back to their schools by 4:30 for open house, when all they're going to be thinking about is getting their what needs to be done." And she was like, "So if you don't want to do it, you don't have to." And I was like, "Look,
nice.
If I'm teaching someone, at least I know I'm not wasting their time versus me sitting in another workshop where they could be wasting my time." So I was like, just stick me in a room with people that don't want to be there. I'll be fine. So I'm like, I feel like that's the lesser of two evils, because I can't stand when my time is wasted and I don't learn something. So yeah.
So every year that we go back,
I mean, I try to find one thing from a day. If I can take one thing away, it's okay. But I'm also teaching science this year, and I haven't taught that in this district before. So those
You might need some workshops.
Yeah. I mean, I've already got lesson plans for the first 6 weeks done and all my stuff ready because I'm that person. But
you're more organized than I was then.
Yeah.
I am not.
I want to be able, when school is out, to be able to pick our kid up and hang out with her and hear all about high school and hang out with you.
Oh no, I
and
can still do all that.
I can't. I need my stuff done so I don't have to have it in my brain on my list.
My first year teaching was a lot of staying up till like 2 a.m. trying to get stuff ready. But now I'm just like, it's either gonna be ready, I'll have something, or I won't. I'll be fine.
That's how I feel about writing, because I've taught writing for so long and grammar. I'm like, I could teach this in my sleep. I'm not worried about it. I can come up with a writing assignment on the top of my head. I can pull a book off the shelf, read a chapter, and like we can write about it. That's no big deal. But the science, I'm like, no, I need to do really well this year so they let me keep it, because I finally talked him into letting me have it.
Well, you've taught science before,
I have.
but not 4th grade.
I have, and I haven't taught it here in Texas. It's taken me 4 years to talk them into letting me have a science block.
I mean, it's still the same science.
So you did want it. Hopefully.
Oh yes, very much so.
Great.
I taught science and reading as a combo one year, which is an odd combo.
Interesting though.
It was, my math teacher had a background in social studies. So she asked to teach social studies. I'm like, well, I came from the zoo. I'll teach science.
Okay.
So we did that year, and it was my favorite year so far in my 14 years. And, but then I was told that my reading scores were too good to be taken out of reading. And so they took me out of science.
You got to your job a little better.
I know. They were like, you're too good. We can't lose you. But my principal this year, we ended up having to extend our 4th grade to a 3-person team. So we have 3 classes instead of 2. And he was like, if you want, you could teach just writing, which is what I prefer, and science. I was like, yes, what do I have to do to make this happen? So, and then the person who's going to teach reading comprehension is teaching social studies, and she's very excited about that because she prefers that to writing. So,
Okay. Nice.
yeah. Anyways, sorry.
No,
You've like completely tuned me out, haven't you?
no, I just remembered I have to go to school tomorrow.
I know. Do you have clean work clothes?
That's a good question. I sure do because
You haven't worn them.
I haven't
this
worn them
summer.
for months,
They're probably
so-
also
Yeah.
in your closet.
sure there are. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. You have anything else?
We do.
What?
Megan's event.
Oh, World Conservation Day did get canceled.
It
so
did. So in October, we normally do an event, a local event for World Wildlife Conservation
Wildlife
Day.
Conservation. Used to be World
Um,
Reptile Day. That's right.
It did. So this would have been the third year we've done it, and she's had some stuff come up that needs more of her focus and attention. So this year it has been postponed to next year. So that was a sad bummer.
If
But in October, you still have the Carpet Fest
Carpet
event,
Fest, yeah,
which will be at Reptilandia again.
yeah. Where's Reptilandia? Why did I forget the name of the town Reptilandia is in? Robert, what is it?
Leland,
Johnson
No.
City.
Johnson
Johnson
City.
City.
Um,
It's the only thing in Johnson City. There's that and a burger
I
place.
will not be there this year, though.
What a loser!
I already have an obligation that weekend.
Is it quilting?
No, it's actually not.
Girl Scouts?
Yes,
Nah. Is it quilting or
it
Girl
was on.
Scouts?
It was on the calendar first. I can't help it.
Um,
My
There's documentary on Netflix about the men in prison who
Yes.
make quilts.
It was not nearly long enough for
Right.
me.
It was
I
like
needed
30
so
minutes.
much more
Yeah.
information.
I love it. I love
It was
programs like that.
Fabulous. There's
Yeah.
actually several programs that since that documentary has aired and
Oh.
it got such positive feedback, now suddenly all these other prisons that have a similar system in place are like, oh, well, we can talk about ours because they realized all these quilters that have ungodly amounts of supplies
Oh, I
want
bet.
to donate.
So much fabric. Yeah.
or you can just go to Texas, Louisiana prison and then risk dying while riding a bull.
I mean, Angola is known for their rodeo. Interesting.
Never went to it. I always wanted to go to the Angola rodeo.
Mm-mm. No.
It's actually coming up in October, and I'm seriously considering going over there one weekend because it's supposed to be a lot of fun.
Mhm. I know a lot of people that go every year.
Yeah,
Well, we'll have to look at the dates.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
October is Bandtober.
if anybody's in Austin on August, what is it, Katie?
It's the last Saturday in August.
29th.
29th. Come to the World Oddities Expo and see me and Robert and buy some 3D printed stuff. Or you can go buy Dead Animals in a Jar. That's also going to be there. It's an oddity show. You can buy Dead Animals in a Jar from our friend Callie, who sells Dead Animals in a Jar. Or you can buy 3D printed stuff and it's not a dead animal. It just looks like an animal. But come by and see us. Lynn, so you said you've got a book. The Octopus book is coming out October.
Yes, this will be out October 7th.
Is there anything else that you're working on that you can mention?
Just the, many ideas that I drop onto my document. So nothing for sure yet. So I'm always working on other books. So nothing that's confirmed yet.
Gotcha.
That has a release date or anything. So just always working on one or more books at a time. So especially now that I'm interested in doing some nonfiction, I kind of dabble in that as I need to get the next novel written and sent in to see if my editor would like it, would want it. And then, but then I still will look up, sharks or turtles or whatever else has caught my eye and take some notes on what a possible nonfiction book could be.
Well, I thought earlier we were talking about all the butts and everything. We didn't mention Jessica Lee Anderson's book, Frog Butts and Toad Warts.
Oh yeah, that one just came out not that long ago, I think.
So if
That
anybody's
was a pretty funny one.
still interested in learning more about butts,
Yep.
there's another butt book.
Yep.
Get you one.
I don't think I have that one.
I don't.
I bought a whole bunch for myself for my birthday, and I took them to my
they're
classroom
all in your
already.
classroom,
So
yeah.
I don't actually remember that was a couple months ago. I don't remember what I bought.
I feel like we got that one.
I feel like we did. I know I got the bearded dragon one because I have a bearded dragon in my classroom. I feel like I got that.
I know I didn't read any of them.
You look at the picture.
I look at the pictures and I go, "Oh, it looks good, Jessica," and then I get back to her. And
I did get one about the colors, all the different colors of the animals.
she has several different color books, though.
That one was cool.
And now we're talking about Jessica Anderson while we have a different
Yeah.
author on here. How rude, Katie. Say I don't think I have anything. If anybody wants to buy a snake, I still got snakes for sale. You can buy a boa
Mhm.
or sand boa.
I'm making progress
both.
on your snake quilt that I
Progress.
started like
You mentioned it. You haven't done
2
anything.
years ago. I did like 10 blocks the other night.
It's not done yet.
There's only like
you ever get that
54
button put on
total.
the short for me, Katie?
No, but they're sitting downstairs.
The
I'll
same
go do
place I
that.
put them on Thanksgiving?
Yep, yeah.
Probably.
No, they've been moved multiple times. It's just clean down there.
The button, Joe knocked it off the counter the other day, and James was like, "What's this button?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Robert's button. Put it back by the shorts." Because the button did get lost for a little bit, so it did misplace. Okay, so I'll sew the button while we watch Librarians tonight. I can sit and do that.
Robert, you got anything else?
No. I can think of trying not to cough my head off over here. It still comes and goes.
You're getting over a vid.
Yep.
Get healthy. Stop being sick.
Yeah.
Just don't be sick, Robert.
I know I need to start taking my immunity stuff now before all these germy children come back.
Gross kids.
Ugh. Now that I'm going to have even more coming through my classroom every day because I have a third group. Well, Lynne, it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for saying yes when I emailed you and asked if you wanted to be on the podcast. It gives me hope when I have to ask the next person if they want to be on the podcast. So I don't like rejection. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was talking to Sheldon.
Thought I was muted.
No, you're fine. I was like, oh, Sheldon must be getting into something. He has a pug named
like,
Sheldon.
All I see is this blanket flying around over there, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing?
He's building his nest. He's ready to go to bed tonight. Millie does that when she gets ready to go to sleep, but it's normally the blanket on our bed. And so it tears up everything. So if people wanted to get a hold of you, talk about books or schedule you to come talk to their kids at school or do a function or anything like that, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
I was looking if I could put my website in the chat. I didn't see how I could.
I can put it on
our Facebook page.
Okay. Yeah. Like my website is one. The social media I'm on the most is Instagram. So for my website, it's lynnekellybooks.com. Lynn with an E, Kelly with an L-Y. So Lynne Kelly Books. Instagram, put another K in there. So it's Lynne K. Kelly on Instagram. You could probably just look it up and see that. So yeah, those are some ways to get a hold of me. Also, I'm doing a pre-order campaign for 3 Blue Hearts. So anyone who buys even one copy of the book will get. I'll send you a link to a Q&A session I'm doing in late October. So it can be like it's open to anyone, but I thought especially might be of interest to teachers and people who have a book club for kids or something. You could buy even one copy and have your class join in the Q&A. So I'll do that. And so that I've shared on social media and also on my website, it's there. So there's just a short Google form to fill in with name and where can I email you, the link and all that. So so it's just something I'm doing to get some pre-orders for the book before it's out.
That's awesome. I have to look that up.
You know what I'll do? I'll email you the graphic I have for it because that has the address to the Google form and it has a QR code.
That would be great.
So I could email you that and
I can share it with our librarian and she can share it with hers. Yeah, sure.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna hit me anymore?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, Lynn, like I said, thank you for coming on. Everybody else, we will be back next week with somebody. We haven't planned that far ahead, but it'll be somebody next week. Maybe I'll reach out to VivTech. We haven't had them on in a while.
There you go. See what they're doing on Tuesday.
Yeah, we got to plan around now school again and
band.
Freaking band. All right. Lynn, if you'll hang out for a second, everybody else, we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Good night. Dun, dun, dun. We can still see us.